In 1949, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited were approved by the Willys Overland Corporation to import and assemble cj3b Jeeps at their facilities in Bombay, India. Most components were imported from the United States in SKD or CKD kits, while some parts such as tires and batteries were sourced locally. By 1953, the company had been licensed to produce cj3b Jeeps, and the 100% indigenous manufacture of Jeeps, in collaboration with Willys, commenced in 1954. The Willys cj3b Jeep was a modified version of the original WW second military megabyte Jeep, which evolved into the civilian cj2a, and then eventually became the cj3a. In 1952 it was decided that more power was needed, and a physically larger F-head 4-cylinder Hurricane engine was the preferred choice. But in order to accommodate the taller engine, it was necessary to increase the grille and bonnet height about 6 inches, which gave the cj3b its characteristic high hood appearance. Although the new engine had the same displacement as the original 134 cubic inch 63 bhp Go Devil engine, it featured a revised valve train and produced 75 bhp. The cj3b was the most enduring of the flat-fender Jeeps, and few changes were made during its 15-year production run. There was also a militarized version, the M606, introduced around 1960. According to Derek Redmond of the cj3b page, Willys produced over 30,000 cjbs in each of 1953 and 1954, but for the next decade there were fewer than 10,000 produced annually. When production of the cj3b finally ended in 1968, Willys Motors had built a total of 155,494 cj3b Jeeps, many of which had been exported to countries all over the world. Even as early as 1946, Willys had licensed a Hotkiss, a French company, to manufacture military Jeeps. Then later, they went on to produce cj3b models. Mitsubishi Motors of Japan began making a version of the cj3b in 1953 and finally ended production in 1998. In Spain, Viasa, Vehiculos Industriales y Agrícolas, SA, produced a cj3b from 1953 until 1985, and Wilco, Willys, Colombia, is still building cj3b Jeeps. Another company that has had a long relationship with the cj3b Jeep is Mahindra and Mahindra Limited of Bombay, India, who were first licensed to build the cj3b in 1953, have continued to do so ever since. In 1989, the Mahindra CJ series of Jeeps was launched in the UK by a motor vehicle importer, the Motor Industry Group. The range of 3 models, called Indian Brave, Indian Chief and Badger, were available in 2 wheelbases, 80-inch and 91-inch. The short wheelbase Mahindra CJ340, Indian Brave, later renamed the CJ Classic, made its debut in, followed by the long wheelbase cj540, Indian Chief, in 1991. There was also a Red M540, Marksman, model that was similar in appearance to a cj5. All 3 models were powered by either 2.1 or 2.3 liter Puget XDP 4.90 diesel engines, licensed built in India. Importation of the Mahindra cj340 to the UK was via an assembly plant in Greece, but the cj540 seems to have arrived in the UK from Germany. Over the years, Mahindra have made numerous modifications to the basic cj3b in order to develop a range of vehicles that would be more suitable for local needs. Short and long wheelbase models with a variety of commercial body styles are available, as are a wide selection of alternative petrol and diesel engines. The Puget XDP 4.90 diesel engine, that is installed in the UK. Mahindra Jeeps was first licensed to Mahindra by Automobiles Puget, France in 1979. In 1984 Mahindra Hellenic Auto Industries was established in Greece to assemble vehicles for the European market. The Marksman range was introduced to the UK in August 1991 and had been discontinued by October 1994. There were 3 variants in the range, all based on the same body style and chassis, and powered by the trusty 2.1-litre XT490 diesel engine. The variations existed in the style of roof, all covering where there was the basic soft top, the one-piece hard top and the Satara 2-piece hard top. All variations were dealer-specific alterations and the Satara was the most expensive to buy. The Marksman was based in design on the Jeep cj5 models, and classified as millimeters by Mahindra. They were also the heaviest of UK Mahindra, topping the scales at 1950 kilos GBW. All were long wheelbase, but had a chassis length of 141 inches, which is shorter than the CJ/LWB models, though strangely enough had a longer wheelbase of 96 inches compared to 91 inches of the LWB CJ. They were also higher by 4 inches at 76 inches, and a whole 7 inches wider at 70 inches than the CJ models. Running gear and transmission was exactly the same as the CJ variants. The Marksman was the luxury vehicle of the UK Mahindra range. They had fully enclosing metal doors with wind-down windows, padded cloth interior door panels with matching cloth seating and carpeting throughout the whole vehicle. The dashboard was fully revised, and had 2 totally separate instrument clusters, the main one being in front of the steering wheel, and containing the speedometer, water, and fuel gauges, while a second cluster in front of the gear levers contained the oil pressure gauge and ammeter. Gone were the 14 tiled